Tonight on CTV News, soundtrack to the Vancouver Canucks.
It would be an impossibility for you to find anyone to have a bad word to say about Jim. I think that's all you need to know about him. He was universally loved.
Paying tribute to the legendary voice of the Canucks, Jim Robson has died at the age of 91. The trial gets underway for the man charged with killing a father at Starbucks. What video reveals in the moments before the violence.
This whole area of Vancouver, the schools are all lottery.
The final hurdle for a school promised nearly 2 decades ago. Why some Olympic Village residents are pushing back.
This is CTV News with Mi Jung Lee.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news and a shocking situation in Tumbler Ridge in northeastern BC. There was an active shooter at the local high school. That prompted police to warn people in the town to shelter in place. And we have just learned that there are several victims. CTV's Lauren Pullen is following this in the Breaking News Center. Lauren, this has gone on for several hours now, a distressing situation for the entire community.
It certainly is, Mi Jung. Mounties are still determining if there was a second suspect involved, and they have not confirmed to us at this point how many victims there are or the extent of injuries. But we do know that STAR's air ambulance has been called to the scene. RCMP were on scene at around 1:20 this afternoon, and you can see this is visuals of the school in the distance. There are about 175 students at the secondary school in grades 7 to 12, according to the province. And we know that both the high school and elementary were locked down. Mounties sent an emergency alert to area cell phones at 2:15 this afternoon, telling people to lock their doors and stay inside. And the alert described a suspect as a female in a dress with brown hair. Tumbler Ridge is about 2 hours south of Fort St. John, and the local MLA had this to say.
Resources have been sent to the community in the way of RCMP enforcement, in the way of ambulance support, and I can't stress this enough to the folks of Tumbler Ridge. Please, please obey the stay in place and shelter order. Please. The situation is evolving. It is still underway. Please stay off the streets.
And again, at this point, we do know that one suspect is dead. The mayor has released this statement tonight that reads in part, "Today, our community experienced a deeply distressing incident. Our hearts are with all of those affected, and we recognize that many residents may be feeling shocked, scared, and overwhelmed." It goes on to say additional supports are already here or on their way to assist the community. In the days ahead, we know this will be difficult for many to process. And of course, we will be continuing to follow this concerning situation, bringing you any updates just as soon as they are available. Meech.
Okay, thank you for this, Lauren. The jury in a BC coroner's inquest into the deaths of a Prince Rupert family has ruled that the 4 members died of homicide and suicide. The jury found 38-year-old Christopher Duong died from self-inflicted wounds, while his partner Janet Nguyen and their 2 young sons were all victims of homicide. The deaths happened in June 2023, just 3 days after Duong was detained under the Mental Health Act, only to be released hours later. Jurors issued 9 recommendations, including for police to be notified when someone they've apprehended under the Mental Health Act is released. A man accused of stabbing another man to death on the patio of a downtown Starbucks was in court for the first day of his second-degree murder trial. The Crown played graphic videos of the violent altercation, which apparently began as a disagreement about one of the men smoking. CTV's Ben Milger was in court and has more, but first we want to warn you the details in the story are disturbing.
It has been 3 years since Paul Schmidt and Inderdeep Singh Gosal's violent encounter outside the Starbucks at Granville and West Pender. Here at BC Supreme Court, Gosal sat in the prisoner's dock with his head down while the Crown walked the court through videos of the deadly confrontation. This is social media video from that day. What it doesn't show is what led up to this moment. Schmidt was at the Starbucks with his young daughter in a stroller and his fiancée. Surveillance video played in court shows Gosal, the accused, smoking on the patio. He then stands up and has words with someone outside of the patio and out of frame in the video. Moments later, Schmidt enters the patio from the sidewalk, walks directly up to Gosal, and the two begin fighting. The physical interaction lasts just 25 seconds, and when it's over, Schmidt is on his back in a pool of blood. Police arrive on the scene within a minute or two and immediately arrest Gosal. A witness named Michael Allen, who was in the cafe at the time, took the stand, describing the fight between the two men and reactions from customers inside. I heard screams in the Starbucks and saw a lot of people rush away from the doors. Gosal has pleaded not guilty to the charge of second-degree murder. The Crown intends to call 11 witnesses over the next 2 weeks before Gosal's lawyers have a chance to introduce their defense. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
The legendary voice of the Canucks, Jim Robson, has died at the age of 91. Robson was the team's first play-by-play announcer in 1970, and for decades, his voice was synonymous with some of the Canucks' most dramatic and unforgettable moments. A familiar soundtrack to an evolving team. CTV's Kevin Chirac has the story.
Representing a city.
From the first puck drop in 1970,
Right in on goal, he scored!
to cup runs in 82 and 94.
Pass to Pavel Bure, in the clear, right in! Yeah, he scored!
Jim Robson was the voice behind it all.
The other thing I loved about Jim is an amazing storyteller. Loved to tell stories.
Former Canucks captain Trevor Linden remembering Robson as humble with a passion for the game. Robson's iconic Game 6 call in the Stanley Cup final, a memory Linden will never forget.
He will play. You know he'll play. He'll play on crutches.
I am honored to be part of such a call. Obviously, an iconic call in what many would say is one of the greatest games ever played in Vancouver, that Game 6 against the Rangers. And I think Jim met the moment.
Robson started his career in Port Alberni at just 17 years old before becoming the Canucks radio voice for 24 years. He also did TV.
Tonelli to Nystrom. He scored!
And called the 1980 New York Islanders Stanley Cup final with Hockey Night in Canada. Also working BC Lions games and the Olympics before retiring in 1999.
He was the gold standard as far as I'm concerned.
John Shorthouse followed in Robson's footsteps, calling games in what's now known as the Jim Robson broadcast booth. He considers Robson a mentor and a friend.
It would be an impossibility for you to find anyone to have a bad word to say about Jim. And I think that's all you need to know about him. He was universally loved.
Robson's accolades include receiving the Hockey Hall of Fame's Foster Hewitt Memorial Award in 1992, being inducted into the Canadian Broadcast and BC Sports Hall of Fame, and receiving the Order of Canada. According to the BC Sports Hall of Fame, he never missed a single broadcast due to illness.
Adamson scored! Bring Adams! Bring Adams!
Many years ago, telling CTV News he never took the job for granted.
I've had a lot of good breaks and good eras to be in. Everything just clicked for me, so I basically just did my job for a lot of years and enjoyed it. And
Jim Robson.
A few weeks ago, Robson was honored at a Canucks game for his 91st birthday. The team releasing a statement today saying Robson's legacy will never fade and that he was the soundtrack of generations of memories. Jim Robson was 91.
And Kevin Chirac joins us now. Kevin, Robson, not only did he have an amazing attendance record, he's also being remembered for a particular tradition.
Yeah, that is right, Mi Jung. Many fans posting on social media today saying they remember Robson for his special shout-outs during games to hospital patients, shut-ins, pensioners, the blind, all the folks who can't get out to the hockey game. He'd give a special hello. So the man being remembered for many of those iconic calls, being remembered for much more today, Mi Jung.
Yeah, definitely. I'd forgotten about those shout-outs, but then when you mentioned it, yeah. All right, thanks a lot, Kevin.
You bet.
Abbotsford's police chief is calling for urgent justice reforms as the force responds to growing concerns about the extortion crisis plaguing the community. And as CTV's Michelle Bernaro reports, the city's top cop is also urging victims to come forward.
From bullet holes in vehicles to bullets targeting businesses, there have been 89 reported incidents of extortion in Abbotsford since late 2023, and it's left business owners fearful.
They're afraid to leave, their home. They're not attending, the office at regular times, and they're trying to run their businesses from home.
The city's top cop says extortion crimes have led to immense stress and anxiety in the community.
I recognize that not everyone affected by extortion will feel that their expectations have been met.
But he says Abbotsford police officers are doing all they can.
Here in Abbotsford, any criticism directed at police who are working tirelessly to mitigate and hopefully eliminate this crisis is entirely undeserved.
Abbotsford police say they have made progress, including 2 previous arrests. 22-year-old Gursawak Singh was charged last December with several offences, including reckless discharge of a firearm after a business was shot at. Meanwhile, the police chief says reforms are needed to speed up investigations,
including such things like modernization of key sections of the criminal code, bringing about changes to disclosure rules, improved timely access to electronic communications information when needed as part of criminal investigations.
Despite all the attention on the extortion issue, some victims are still reluctant to report the crime to police.
There are some hesitations as far as approaching the police just because of perhaps previous experiences or coming from foreign countries themselves as immigrants, so maybe they haven't had positive experiences with police back home.
Your safety matters, your voice matters, and you are not facing this challenge alone.
Urging extortion victims to come forward, the chief says new information could help stop a crime that thrives on fear. Michelle Brunoro, CTV News, Abbotsford.
Expectant parents in the Fraser Health District are being asked to plan for the unexpected. Another closure has been announced at Ridge Meadows Hospital, leaving people in the region frustrated and worried about delivering their babies. CTV's Dimitra Maragos has the story.
Thank you. Nicoletta Mann is just several weeks away from her due date, but she says right now the question still remains as to where she'll give birth.
We don't know where. Might be Surrey, might be Langley.
Living just minutes away from Peace Arch Hospital in White Rock, she says that was the original plan.
We were thinking will be easy to plan everything around the delivery time. Just walk to the hospital and coming home with a baby.
But after a recent diversion at the hospital ending Tuesday morning, she's concerned about the health district staffing of maternity care.
It's getting a lot of stress, unnecessary stress for us as a family.
Fraser Health is gearing up for another maternity diversion at Ridge Meadows Hospital in Maple Ridge from February 12th to the 17th.
We're not able to complete a full 24/7 call schedule at those sites. And in order to provide safe and quality care, we need to divert some of the patients at certain times during the month.
Dr. Burrows attributes these diversions to staffing shortages along with other factors, but says he understands patients' concerns.
We just want to sincerely apologize for the disruption and the stress it may cause patients.
Healthcare for women in this province have never been worse than it is today.
Trevor Halford, the MLA for Surrey White Rock, says the provincial government needs to take action now.
The fact that we are seeing diversion after diversion at maternity wards is beyond concerning. This government has known about this. This is happening more often than not.
Mann adding, as a patient, she's looking for more clarity.
I moved to Canada 8 years ago now. I am a proud Canadian. I love the country. I love neighbors. I love what I'm doing. But the medical system, I think, needs to be improved.
CTV News reached out to the Ministry of Health for comment, but they could not reach our deadline for broadcast. Dimitra Maragos, CTV News, Maple Ridge.
The NDP government is unveiling major funding for children and youth with disabilities. As CTV's Martin McMahon reports, the changes are largely being welcomed, but some families will actually receive less money.
It's a big day. It's a big day for families who have a child with a disability.
The BC government will spend $475 million over 3 years on new supports for children with disabilities, including autism and Down syndrome.
I have seen firsthand how critical it is for families to get the right help when they are doing everything they can to meet the needs of a child.
The government expects the new system will give various supports to 48,000 children, up from 33,000 under the existing system.
This new approach finally recognizes that one size does not fit all, and more importantly, it tailors the funding according to their need rather than one specific diagnosis.
But an estimated 5,200 children who are deemed to have low needs will receive less support than before.
And so we'll make sure, as I said, to work very closely with those families, with their service providers, to have priority access to the tailored supports that they need to address some of the challenges that they may face.
For advocates like Down Syndrome BC President Tamara Taggart, the new supports are welcome, but the question will be how this is delivered.
It's a good day. Now we have to pay attention to how it's implemented and what the accessibility is like. But, you know, we've got a lot of parent groups that are willing to keep their eye on that. But right now, I think it's a really good announcement.
While many parents who have children with disabilities are welcoming the changes, some tell me there are shortages in trained people to deliver services, pointing to speech therapists or occupational therapists with full patient loads, suggesting that could mean certain access challenges will persist. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Vancouver.
A man is recovering after an explosion rocked a Surrey neighborhood last night and sparked a fire at a house. Police say the blast happened around 9:15 along 100A Avenue in the Green Timbers area. Fire crews quickly put out the resulting blaze, and paramedics took one man to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the explosion is under investigation, but police say it doesn't appear to be connected to the recent extortion-related incidents in Surrey. It's been promised for years, and it's still an empty lot. The next hurdle for finally building a school in Olympic Village. That story in just a moment. But first, let's go outside and show you a live shot from Grouse Mountain. Little remnant of the sunset still there, which is always promising.
Yes,
Anne,
yeah.
The days are getting longer.
Exactly. A beautiful day it was today. Blue skies and sunshine, a beautiful sunset as well. Here's a look at temperatures across the lower mainland right now. Looking at 9 degrees at the harbor, 8 in Burnaby, 7 in Surrey, 11 degrees in White Rock. That was the hot spot across the country today, and 8 degrees in Abbotsford and Chilliwack. So as we head through the overnight, it'll be clear and calm, 3 degrees. Tomorrow we'll do it all over again. Mostly sunny skies with a high of 9.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Make the most of your next vacation by booking with those who've been there. Visit expediacruises.ca.
More sunshine on the way. I've got your full forecast coming up.
Yeah, Wednesday was supposed to be the sunniest day, right?
Well, it was sunny.
Today was
like
great
today.
too, though.
Yeah, pretty much. Lots of sunshine on the way.
All right, thanks, Anne. After nearly 20 years, a long-promised elementary school for Vancouver's Olympic Village has reached its last hurdle. Parents in the area say their children are in desperate need of the school, but some residents feel it's just not right for the neighborhood. CTV's Isabella Zaffarisi reports.
Have fun on your special day. Sarah Pollock wants parents like her to be able to send their children to school in the neighborhoods they live in. But even though plans have been in the works for years, residents of Olympic Village still aren't able to do so.
We are not able to wait any longer.
An elementary school at Hinge Park was promised in 2007.
The children that moved to this area when the Olympics were complete and this became housing where we're standing, those people are adults. They never got a school.
The lack of space, she says, has put pressure on nearby schools, such as Crosstown Elementary.
This whole area of Vancouver, the schools are all lottery. They are way over capacity, which isn't a sustainable system.
2 years ago, the province announced more than $150 million for the project. On Thursday, a rezoning application for the site heads to City Council. If approved, it would see a 4-story school serving more than 600 students, much like Crosstown and the soon-to-be-opened Cole Harbour Elementary. The design also features a rooftop-covered play area. Some local residents say the plan is not ideal for the neighborhood.
We really want the school. We want them to move on, but we think the rezoning application is going to cause more problems than solving the need for a school in the neighborhood.
Kathy Thornycroft says those in opposition cite traffic, noise concerns, and a lack of green space. She says residents support the original plan, a 3-story building with around 300 students.
But it should be the original school. not something that is being used to anticipate densification in other areas of the city.
One thing parents and residents can agree on is that it's taken too long for this site to be developed. If council approves the rezoning application, construction will begin next year, with a school welcoming students in 2029. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
No love lost with these most wanted criminals. The Crime Stoppers list of BC's least wanted Valentines. Also coming up.
We've got a bunch of crackpot advisors in the White House who misinform the president, who already likes to have tantrums.
Cross-border bridge tensions, what the Prime Minister said to Donald Trump about his threat to block the opening of the new Windsor-Detroit Bridge. When CTV News at 6 continues. Stay with us. Returning now to tonight's top story, that active shooter seen with multiple victims at a school in BC's northeast community of Tumbler Ridge. CTV's Lauren Pullen is following this in the Breaking News Center. Lauren, we're learning several people have been killed and dozens injured.
Mijang, a tragic update from RCMP just moments ago. 9 victims have been killed. 2 others have been airlifted to hospital with serious injuries. We know 6 of those victims were found inside the secondary school. Another died while en route to hospital. And 2 more people were found dead inside a residence believed to be connected to the incident. Approximately 25 others are being assessed and triaged with non-life-threatening injuries. Police add that a person believed to be the shooter was also found dead with what appears to be a self-inflicted injury. Now, we are expecting another update from police tonight. We do know that more RCMP are heading to the community to help while the major crime unit has taken over the investigation. Mounties adding that all remaining students and staff were safely evacuated. Mijang.
Yeah, such a dark day in Tumbler Ridge, and our thoughts are with the families impacted by this tragedy. Thank you, Lauren. A man has been charged after what authorities are calling the largest ever meth seizure at Abbotsford's border crossing. The Canada Border Services Agency says the man was driving a commercial truck that was returning from the U.S. and stopped on November 22nd. With the help of detector dogs, officers found 12 boxes containing 314 kilograms of meth hidden in the truck and trailer. The driver, Satnam Singh, was arrested and turned over to the RCMP for further investigation. He's now charged with importing and trafficking methamphetamine. Ahead of Valentine's Day, Crime Stoppers is releasing its list of BC's least wanted Valentines. 5 of BC's most wanted criminals had their pictures placed on top of heart-shaped chocolate boxes today as people you wouldn't want to receive a gift from. This year's list includes Gurkarat Singh, who is wanted by Delta Police on a Canada-wide warrant for sexual assault and sexual interference of a person under 16. Anonymous tips to Crime Stoppers that lead to the arrest of any wanted criminal can lead to a reward of up to $5,000. Surrey police are urging residents and businesses to register their security cameras as the force takes over the city's decade-old community safety program. The camera registry, dubbed Project Iris, is a confidential database that allows officers to see where external cameras are located. Police say it helps them identify possible video evidence without going door to door, but the program doesn't give officers access to live feeds or recordings. Registration is voluntary and owners still get to choose whether to share any footage. Anyone who signed up under the city will need to register again with SPS. The Prime Minister made an early morning call to Donald Trump to clear up some confusion from the White House about the new Windsor-Detroit Bridge. Also coming up.
What about the non-refundable cost of the airfare, the vacation, the tours?
Turbulence for thousands of tourists who had planned trips to Cuba as more flights to the country are canceled. That's coming up. Donald Trump is threatening to block the opening of a major trade corridor between Canada and the U.S. unless the U.S. is fully compensated. The bridge connecting Windsor, Ontario with Detroit is publicly owned by Canada and the state of Michigan. CTV senior political correspondent Mike Lecouture reports.
Canada, of course, paid for the construction of the bridge, over $4 billion.
Prime Minister Carney said he laid out that fact to President Trump in an early morning call that he described as positive. He also cleared up Trump's misconception about the construction of the span.
Obviously, there's Canadian steel, Canadian workers, but also U.S. steel, U.S. workers that are involved. This is a great example of cooperation between our countries.
Ownership of the bridge is clearly spelled out according to the 2017 agreement. The crossing will be publicly owned jointly by Canada and Michigan. Yet Trump's officials insist there are issues.
There's a question as to the proceeds of tolls, et cetera, and so there's going to be a negotiation on that front into how that bridge should be treated. If it's going to be going into the U.S.
According to the agreement, Canada will collect tolls until it recoups the costs related to construction. After that, they're split between Canada and Michigan. One former ambassador says there's a reason the president gets things so wrong.
You've got a bunch of crackpot advisors in the White House who misinform the president, who already likes to have tantrums and lash out and try to get leverage or extort things.
In Trump's online tirade, he also took aim at the Ontario ban on American alcohol, which the premier says won't change.
It's obviously working. It's an irritant. But there's one thing President Trump can do: get rid of Canadian tariffs.
Now, it's unclear if tariffs were discussed on the call, but Prime Minister Carney did say the president asked his ambassador to Canada and Michigan native Pete Hoekstra to continue the conversation and bridge the apparent gap. Mike Lecoulteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Flight cancellations to Cuba and amid fuel shortages have cut vacations short for many Canadians. WestJet, Air Transat and Air Canada are all winding down operations to the island country, which is struggling amid a lack of access to Venezuela crude oil following U.S. military strikes last month. Cuba's economy could suffer even further as airlines announce they're halting service until at least the end of April. One travel agent expert warns that could cost people who already booked trips.
What about the non-refundable cost of the airfare, the vacation, the tours, all that? Unfortunately, if cancellation or interruption insurance was not purchased or it can't be purchased as of today, they don't have a lot of holdout for any hope of getting any of their monies back.
Some hotels have been closed and guests relocated as the Cuban government tries to save on resources. Meanwhile, in Canada, major airlines are flying empty planes with extra fuel to bring travelers back home. Frustration for fans watching Canada's women's hockey team play the U.S. Their captain being sidelined had a big impact. Also ahead, a different kind of marathon in Europe. How well can you stand the heat and the cold when CTV News at 6 returns? Day 4 of the Milan Cortina Olympics brought a mix of highs and lows for Team Canada, including a new addition to the country's medal count. CTV's Scott Hurst has the details.
Down and out. Captain of the Canadian women's hockey team, Marie-Philippe Poulin, did not play against the Americans on Tuesday. She's listed as day-to-day with a lower body injury after taking a hit into the boards during Canada's win over Czechia Monday night.
Losing her is obviously a big one because the United States have been the better team internationally over the last couple of years.
And the United States proved to be too strong on this day, beating Canada to remain undefeated in the preliminary round of the women's hockey tournament. Staying on the ice, Canada is back on the podium, this time in short track speed skating, a silver medal in the mixed relay event.
So close to the podium in Beijing, so it kind of feels special just coming back here and just getting ourselves on the podium.
A shared moment of joy for Kim Boutin, Courtney Sarreau, William Dangenou, and Felix Roussel. Florence Brunel and Stephen Dubois also getting medals for skating in the earlier rounds. Figure skater Stephen Gogolev with a strong performance in the men's singles short program with a score of 87.41, setting himself up for the free skate on Friday. So far, so good for opening ceremony flag bearer Mikhail Kingsbury, third in moguls qualification, just behind his teammate, Quebec City's Julien Viel. Both are moving on to the finals. And making its Olympic debut, women's alpine team combined. One skier tackling the downhill speed event, the other racing the more technical slalom course. Canadians Valérie Grenier and Laurence Saint-Germain finishing 13th. So the medal count now stands at 3, 1 silver and 2 bronze, with more athletes in the mix for medals tomorrow, including in the ice dance final. 3 Canadian pairs, led by Piper Giles and Paul Poirier, third heading into the final event. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Another kind of sporting event took place in Estonia over the weekend. Hundreds of people came out for the annual European Sauna Marathon. It turns the traditional Nordic pastime into a competition with a carnival-like atmosphere. The goal is for teams of 4 to race to as many local saunas in the fastest time. There were 21 different saunas, and participants had to spend at least 3 minutes inside each one. Whoa, and I did see some of the cold plunges. I'm thinking there's got to be some of the hot saunas, too.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be hopefully 20 hot saunas and then just that one cold plunge. I could do that. No problem.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it depends on the ratio, right?
Exactly. Looks like fun, though. All right, let's take a look at our forecast. A beautiful day today. The hot spot across the country was White Rock, 13.6 degrees. Close, but not close enough to the record set back in 2016 at 17.3 degrees. All thanks to this ridge of high pressure. It will continue to dominate the southern half the province as we head into the next few days. Different stories towards the north of the province. We do have a low pressure system, and that is bringing in some wet weather for the north coast, sliding down to Haida Gwaii as we head into your early morning commute tomorrow. You will stay soggy as we head through the afternoon, but for the south coast, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a few clouds rolling its way in as we head into tomorrow night. So for the next 24 hours, looking pretty clear and calm through midnight into tomorrow morning. A few clouds and 4 degrees at 8 o'clock come noon. Mostly sunny skies, 8 degrees at noon, 9 degrees at 3 p.m., and mostly clear conditions as we head into 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So you will see a mix of sun and cloud for the southern interior. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. Port Hardy, 7 degrees with cloudy conditions. You're looking at mostly sunny skies, 8 degrees for Campbell River and Comox. For the South Island, blue skies and sunshine across the board from Tofino right down to Victoria, with temperatures between 7 and 10 degrees. For the Sunshine Coast, mostly sunny skies and 7. Warmer up the Sea to Sky Highway for Squamish. You'll see 10 degrees, warming up to 3 only for Whistler under mostly sunny skies, and for us across the Lower Mainland. Another beautiful day in store. Lots of sunshine with temperatures between 6 and 9 degrees. It does cloud over on Thursday with a high of 8. Light rain for Friday, and then that's pretty much it. A mix of sun and cloud as we head into the weekend for Saturday and Sunday. Highs to 7, dropping down to freezing overnight. Heading into Monday, mostly cloudy skies, and we'll see 6 degrees. Tuesday, showers to start off the day, drying up through the afternoon, but with the temperatures just around the freezing mark, we could see that rain-snow mix in the early morning hours heading into Tuesday. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. Still no snow, but if we see more rain with those overnight lows, possibility is there.
Yeah, we've been spoiled with all this sunshine,
We sure
but
have.
like you said, we definitely do need some more precipitation.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks, Anne. How criminals are using fake gold to scam victims, and they sometimes bring young children with them to lower suspicion. We'll have more news right after the break.
Now that we have 2 kids, it makes me feel so much more relieved. It's part of our budget now. We don't even think twice about it.
Time now for tonight's Skywatch. People walking along the seawall in False Creek today under sunny blue skies.
CTV Skywatch is brought to you by Kermac Collision and Autoglass, the name you'll remember when it matters. Kermac cares for kids.
Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 73 cents to the American dollar. Oil was down 40 cents, closing the day at $63.96 US a barrel. Gold lost $48 on the day. The TSX and the Dow Jones both finished the day higher, up 233 points and 52 points, respectively. Police on Vancouver Island are warning residents about a scam involving fake gold jewelry. Mounties say scammers are approaching people in parking lots in Langford and, in one case, a gas station in Nanaimo. The suspects claim they've run out of money for food or gas and offer to sell the victims their gold jewelry for cash. The gold turns out to be fake. At least 9 incidents have been reported to police since the start of the year. Police say the fraudsters rely on sympathy and urgency, and in several cases had young children with them to lower suspicion. A new report shows the housing market in Canada is being dragged down by economic uncertainty, forecasting higher building costs, fewer new homes built, and more existing units left unsold. According to the housing market outlook from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, new home construction is set to decline through 2028. Higher costs, weaker demand, and more unsold homes are driving the decline, and Vancouver is expected to see a dismal condo market. The report also underscores the impact unemployment, modest income growth, and slowing population growth is having on the market.
The general climate environment of uncertainty that has been brought about by the trade tensions and the uncertainty going forward has definitely impacted housing investment.
The CMHC has warned Canada needs an additional 3.5 million homes to restore affordability by 2030. The federal government is providing more details about its new automotive strategy, promising more charging stations nationwide to help address concerns about EV range. The federal government has announced more than $97 million to fund 155 clean transportation projects across Canada. Just over $84 million will be used to install more than 8,000 electric vehicle chargers, adding to the 30,000 which already exist nationwide. And turning back to our top story, RCMP are providing a live update with the latest on the deadly Tumbler Ridge incident. We'll take you now to that press conference live.
Police are working closely with the school district to support a coordinated reunification process for families. Approximately 25 others are being assessed and treated at the local medical center for non-life-threatening injuries. As the investigation progressed, officers identified a secondary location believed to be connected to the incident. 2 additional victims were located deceased inside a residence. Police are conducting further searches of other homes and properties to determine whether anyone else may be injured or otherwise linked to today's events. Additional RCMP resources have been Additional RCMP resources have been deployed to support both the response and the investigation, including frontline officers, the emergency response team, BC RCMP Major Crimes, and Victim Services. We would also like to extend our sincere thanks to our partners at BC Emergency Health Services and the Tumbler Ridge Fire Department, as well as the local medical center for their critical support throughout this incident. BC RCMP Major Crimes has assumed conduct of the investigation and is working to determine the full circumstances surrounding this incident. We are not in a place now to be able to understand why and what may have motivated this tragedy. This was a rapidly evolving and dynamic situation, and the swift cooperation from the school, first responders, and the community played a critical role in our response. Our thoughts are with the families, loved ones, and all those impacted by this tragic incident. This has been an incredibly difficult and emotional day for our community, and we are grateful for the cooperation shown as officers continue their work to advance the investigation. I'd like to personally take a few minutes to recognize our community, our provincial leaders, our emergency services partners, and our communities across the north, as well as our partners who conduct businesses in our communities. I've connected with many of you, the RCMP, members involved, our families, and our communities are truly grateful and appreciative of your efforts to support us, your thoughts and your prayers that you have sent me. I know you and all of our communities across British Columbia have many more questions. We are committed to providing more information and providing answers to you in the coming days ahead. I can now take a few questions. CBC News verified. Yeah, go ahead, CBC News.
What can you tell us about the shooter at this stage?
We're still trying to determine a lot about the shooter at this stage right now. We believe we've been able to identify the shooter, but for privacy reasons and obviously for the conduct of the investigation, we're not releasing that information at that time until we're assured that we've connected with the appropriate people and identified things.
And as a follow-up, can you tell us about where the victims were found? Is this inside the school? What can you tell us about the injured and the deceased?
Yeah, multiple injuries and multiple deceased were inside the school as officers progressed through the scene, locating them and triaging those events. We also located 2 deceased at another scene.
Okay, just recapping, you were listening to a news conference from Tumbler Ridge, a tragedy situation there. 9 people were killed today. The suspect, a woman, was also found dead with self-inflicted gun wounds. So 9 people dead. 6 of those victims were found inside the secondary school in Tumbler Ridge. Another died while en route to hospital. 2 more people were found dead inside a residence believed to be connected to the incident. And 25 others are injured. They're being triaged. This is still a developing situation, but the lockdown in the community has been lifted after several hours. A dark, grim day in Tumbler Ridge, and we will provide more details as they become available. Still to come, facing adversity with creativity. Adam finds out how a senior discovered an unexpected talent for painting positivity. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. After receiving a terminal diagnosis, a Coquitlam man decided to fill his remaining days with hope and creativity. Slowly but surely, he turned a blank wall outside his home into something that's inspired his entire neighborhood. And he's not done yet. Adam explains in tonight's Sawatsky Sign-Off.
After spending years refurbishing convertibles, Charlie Bates found himself with a bunch of old paint in his carport.
I might as well splash it on the wall.
So he painted a picture of Bugs Bunny, followed by Santa Claus and his dog, Cookie.
I just love doing it. It makes me feel good, takes my mind off the things that I shouldn't be thinking about.
Take Charlie's mind off that diagnosis.
Well, according to doctors, I'm dead.
After being told he had just months to live, Charlie decided to make the most of the time he has left.
I just want to enjoy life day to day right now.
So he started waking up before dawn to marvel at the stars in the sky.
It's amazing.
Before painting the solar system on his wall.
Everything started to become a story for me where I could add to it and just let it flow.
A story about our place in the universe that explores serious topics like astronomy, biology, and history, while never forgetting to have a whole lot of fun along the way.
I had no idea what the end result was going to be, or that people would even be interested in looking at it.
But it turns out the kids in the community got a kick out of the cartoon characters, while his neighbors, like Laura Beaulieu, were amazed by the scope of it.
I see him out here in the coals, and I'm thinking, he is determined. He is inspirational.
You see, while Charlie was filling his wall, Laura was also battling cancer.
And he was always positive and happy, and it really gave me hope.
Because although life can seem as overwhelming and complex as this mural, if you look at it from Charlie's perspective, if you can be both productive and positive, he says, it's all quite simple.
Well, enjoy every minute that you're alive. It's the best it's ever been.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Coquitlam.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by
CapitalDirect.ca. Let's make your vision a reality with Capital Direct. Call and talk to our team today.
I love how he just chose to be positive. And being creative really does lift the spirit.
Yeah, beautiful paintings.
Yeah, that's what you do with all that leftover paint in your house, right? Okay, Lauren, of course, you're working on this tragic story in Tumbler Ridge. Many of us just shocked to hear about the multiple deaths in that community.
Yeah, definitely. We will be continuing to track this throughout the evening. Just a devastating scene unfolding in Tumbler Ridge. And our Craig Krause is actually on that RCMP press conference call right now. We're going to piece together all the latest details just as soon as they're available and have them up at 11:30 and continue to update online, of course.
Yeah, and definitely our hearts and thoughts go out to the victims' families up in Tumbler Ridge. And Anne, we're going to end on something a little more positive.
Yes, a lot cuter. Let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. That's Shadow, and he's resting at Myra Falls on Vancouver Island. Thanks, Sandy, for sending this very cute photo in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.